Welcome back, everybody, to WagerTalk TV. I have two winning sides in the NBA playoffs on Friday, May the 8th, in the coming games between the Knicks and the 76ers, and also the Spurs and the Timberwolves. Will the New York Knicks be able to take a stranglehold on the series against Philadelphia by winning tonight and going up 3-0? And knowing no NBA team in playoff history has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit? Or will Philadelphia be able to show a high degree of urgency and desperation and come away with a home win tonight to climb back into the series? How about San Antonio, Minnesota? Will the San Antonio Spurs duplicate what they did in round one when they went on the road in game 3 at Portland with a series tied at 1-1, and they came away with 2 road wins, covered both of those games, and then they then proceeded to win game 5 at home as well. Will the Minnesota Timberwolves be able to rebound from a humiliating loss in game 2 and climb back into the series as they're down this series is tied at 1-1, so they could take a series lead? Or better yet, will they stay competitive and get inside the number? I have those answers and much more coming up very shortly, folks. Real quickly, if you have not subscribed to WagerTalk TV, then click on that subscribe button. It's 100% free to do so. And while you're at it, click on the alert notification bell for WagerTalk TV. Will notify you immediately upon any of our great content going up on our great channel. And also, folks, be kind enough to give today's video a like, just a small token of your appreciation for the time, work, and effort I put in to bring you a quality free pick video each and every time I appear here on WagerTalk TV. All right, so the Knicks at Philadelphia. Right now, the Philadelphia 76ers are a 1.5-point favorite. The Knicks opened as a 1.5-point favorite, and the line quickly moved to the 76ers as a 1.5-point favorite. So a 3-point move, and it's certainly noteworthy. This game tips at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Philadelphia down 2-0 in the series. And like I said at the top, I foresee them to have plenty of urgency and desperation in game 3 here. They showed a lot of that against the Celtics when they were down 3-1 in round 1 and rallied to win that series. The 76ers are also 8-0 in their last 8 as a money line home favorite, which they are right now at -122, and also 12-1 in their last 13 as a money line favorite, home favorite, that is. So they've done really well in these situations. The 76ers as a money line favorite this year have gone 31-8 all season long, and that includes 18-4 at home. So they've done awfully well as a money line favorite this season, and very hard to upset in those situations. The New York Knicks are really good at home at Madison Square Garden, 36-11 at home, but just 24-20 on the road. So they are beatable, much more beatable on the road than they are at home. And anytime you have a game 3 money line home favorite that's down 2-0 in a series like Philadelphia is, and they're facing an opponent like the Knicks with a win percentage of .650 or better, those money line home favorites in game 3 that are down 2-0 against those opponents with a win percentage of .650 or better, 71-39 straight up. That's 61.8%. They win the game outright since 2003. And if they're coming off a game 2 loss by 6 points or less, 76ers lost by 6 in game 2 at Madison Square Garden. If they're coming up a loss by 6 or less with the other factors I just mentioned, they improved to 28-11 straight up. That's 71.8% since 2003. I like the Philadelphia 76ers here, -122 on the money line over the New York Knicks. San Antonio at Minnesota. The Spurs are a 5-point favorite as we speak. Minnesota is coming off that humiliating Game 2 loss at San Antonio, which they lost that game 133-95. Even with that blowout loss, the series is still tied at 1-1, excuse me. Minnesota, by the way, 7-0 straight up in their last 7 home games against San Antonio, including 2-0 this year. So the Timberwolves have had the Spurs number in recent years at home, and especially this year as well. So it's worth noting because San Antonio has been really good, a lot better this year than they have been in past seasons. And Minnesota still carried over that home court advantage and took advantage of that against the San Antonio Spurs. Minnesota, by the way, 8-0 straight up this year when facing a team with a win percentage of .550 or more, and they're coming off a loss by 8 points or greater in their previous game. So Minnesota coming off that 38-point loss against San Antonio in Game 2. And again, the Timberwolves 8-0 straight up this year when facing an opponent with a win percentage of .550 or better, and they're coming off a loss in their previous game by 8 points or more. And if they were an underdog in those contests, they went 3-0 straight up in ATS and won by an average of 8.2 points per game with an average point spread of plus 8.2. So even though they were, even in situations they were an underdog, after coming off a loss by 8 or more in their previous game and facing a quality opponent, they still won and covered on each occasion. Minnesota also 4-0 straight up in ATS in their last 4 when coming off a loss in their previous game. In San Antonio, small sample size again, 1-3 straight up in ATS this year is a road favorite of 5 or less when facing an opponent like Minnesota that has a win percentage of .540 or better. So they haven't done well in those situations, albeit it's been just 4 occurrences. All right, we're going to go with Minnesota here, plus the 5 over San Antonio. So repeating again, the 76ers minus 122 is a money line home favorite over the Knicks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves plus 5 is a home underdog over the San Antonio Spurs. That's for Friday, May the 8th. So there you have it, folks. Off a bad day yesterday with our free picks, we're going to bounce back today. And before I leave you, a couple friendly reminders as well, folks. NBA playoffs premium picks, not the free picks you get here, the premium picks. Since the 2021 NBA playoffs, 164 and 120, 58% winners, and a huge net profit of plus 127.59 units. So I know how to get it done at this time of year. Major League Baseball premium picks, plus 46.20 units since May 13th of last year. And by the way, I'm number 1 over the last 365 days per WagerTalk Media on all sports premium picks. And that takes me to this, folks. You can get my 365-day all-access pass, all my premium picks, including my 5% best bets, for just $1,188. That's $811 off the regular price. It's a limited time offer, and that $1,188 for the next 365 days amounts to an average of $3.25 per day. Again, folks, over the last 365 days, over 155 units in net profit, number 1 during that course of time at WagerTalk. And also, folks, since May 13th of last year, up over 174 units of net profit during that time. And that's also number 1 during that period of time at WagerTalk. So again, take advantage of those specials, and you can go right and get that at my personal link at WagerTalk, wt.buzz/RB. You see it right there on the screen, wt.buzz/RB. Until the next time, for Ross the Boss Benjamin and WagerTalk TV, take care and God bless, folks.